Tesla makes the best cars in the world. I don't mean the best electric cars, I mean best cars in the world. However, they do have a big problem that haven't fixed yet, and this problem is driving people like myself away from the brand. And Rich Rebuilds is going to tell you guys in just 1 second, as he comes on as a guest for his monthly segment, how to avoid being a victim of what he calls a Tesla system. He's been a victim once, but things are getting better. We're going to talk about what they can do to improve and what will really happen if they don't. Now, of course, I want to make sure that you understand that this video does contain some Tesla criticism. We might disagree with Elon Musk while we're talking about it, and it will feature some of the technology from other non-Tesla brands. So if you're afraid you're going to faint, or this is not suitable for your children or your dogs, I'll give you a few minutes to adjust, maybe turn the volume down, maybe walk your dog, whatever it is you choose to do. But I just wanted to give you a fair warning. All right, so Rich is going to be here in just 1 second. He is one of the monthly contributors now with his segment that we're calling Talking Shop with Rich Rebuilds, because he has his own repair shop for Tesla, and the link for that is in the description of this video. But there are some other really exciting monthly contributors that you might want to check out, including the CEO of Faraday Future, Karsten Breitfeld, Sandy Munro, and a few others. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, just at least to see these amazing people, go ahead and click on the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything moving forward. All right, so now, the conversations with Rich, as always, if you haven't seen his channel, you definitely should. He rebuilds cars, especially Teslas in particular. I would say he's probably one of the biggest experts out there right now for, aftermarket modifications and rebuilding of Teslas. And it has not been an easy journey for him. He obviously loves Teslas and the brand like myself, but also has a lot of criticism like myself. And I think that's a good thing, right? We want Tesla to be the best, and the way to be the best is to demand to be the best. If you're always rooting for one brand, no matter what they do, that's how they get worse, right? So I do look at Rich as someone who actually is providing a great service if Tesla would actually listen to some of his very valid issues. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Of course, before that, I want to remind you that this video and this channel is sponsored by Byton. Check out their all-electric SUV coming to the US and Europe in a very near future, actually next year. So join myself and many other people and reserve one for yourself. There are tens of thousands of us already waiting patiently for this car. It costs absolutely no money to reserve one, about a minute of your time. So go ahead and use the link in the description of this video to reserve your Byton today. All right, without further ado, let's talk to Rich. Hey Rich, welcome back to my channel for your own segment, Talking Shop with Rich Rebuilds. Listen, I enjoy doing this, and today we have another exciting topic, so let's dive right in. And you made a video about it a while back, essentially how to avoid being a victim of the Tesla system. So first of all, what is the Tesla system?
Oh man, so this was about a year ago going on now, when I tried to purchase my Tesla Model X directly from Tesla, and it was a pre-owned vehicle. And the being a victim of the system was you're so caught up in the hype of the vehicle, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get your hands on one. And Tesla knows this and understands this. And in a lot of cases, unfortunately, their system really isn't up to snuff with the ordering process and receiving process. And therefore, you feel like you're a victim. And they know this in a lot of cases. And in some ways, shapes, and forms, they're actually sweeping this under the rug. So, for example, in my video about a year ago, I purchased a used Model X, and I started the process in September of the year prior. And I said to myself, this is going to be great. I'll get it in time for Christmas. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to love it. And that is not the case at all. I started the process, I think, end of September. And they promised me, hey, listen, you're going to get this car way before Christmas. Like, of course, like, why would you? It's a used vehicle. It's a vehicle that already exists. Therefore, you should get this thing in no time at all, because it's literally on our lot. And then came like this roller coaster of emotions where it's like, well, we're kind of backed up here. And, well, we don't know where the car is. Or, well, we're going to get you a loaner vehicle. And then time for the loaner, they couldn't find a loaner vehicle, and they gave it to someone else. You realize the amount of disorganization in a company so large. And as much as I want to just kind of wring their neck sometimes, I guess I kind of get it as a growing company, but I will say they're not selling widgets. If they were selling, Honda Civics for $21,000, that'd be great. But they're selling cars north of $125,000. So, people tend to have a certain level of expectation when these things happen. So, yeah, that was how I became a victim pretty hard, and there was nothing I can do because at that point they they have they didn't really have a lot of my money, but they had a lot of the time that I invested, and that's one thing I can never get back, regardless. And because I spent so much time invested, I said to myself, you might as well just kind of go through with it now because they're great cars. But at the same time, it's really easy to fall in love with these cars, and it's really easy to become, as I say, a victim of the Tesla system, where you're at the point where you know what you're going to get, and Tesla says, "Hey, I know we told you one thing, but you're going to have to wait longer," and you don't have a voice, so you're just kind of stuck waiting.
That reminds me of some stories of guys who I know who tried to get a mail order bride from Russia, where my home
Oh,
country is. You invested in time, not money yet,
right,
and they keep promising and all. All right, well, okay. So now that was a while back, right? That was a
right,
while back. But do you feel? And I've also become a victim of this over and over again. Except for yours was one big, screw up. Mine
right,
was more like death by a thousand cuts. And they kind of recognize that yes, they're a little or a lot misorganized, and they're also not really good with covering it up with good customer service, right?
right,
um, all right, but I know that kind of settled down, and you continue dealing with Tesla, obviously, especially with the business that you now run with your shop.
right.
Have you noticed some progress in terms of either how they run their operations, and two, how they run their customer service when things do go badly?
That's the thing, is that that was one of the last interactions that I've had with Tesla since the whole Model X saga came about. I haven't really been reaching out to them for much because now I'm in my own little ecosystem. Now I already have my Model X, I have my Model S, and I have my own shop that repairs them. So there's really, I mean, I'm kind of self-sufficient at this point. I have a bunch of parts cars as well. So anything that I need, it's within arm's reach for me. Like I have my own Tesla service center located a few miles away. I have my own parts distribution center that's located closely. So I effectively have my own Tesla in my backyard. So, so the reason for me to reach out to them becomes less and less, honestly, every day. So I think at this point, the only real things that they're improving on are definitely parts. They're trying to get better at parts for sure. So the Electrified Garage, which is a shop that I own, we still have to call Tesla when the customer wants brand new parts on their vehicle. So when they want brand new parts, we have to call Tesla and say, hey, look, we need the following parts. And their inventory system has gotten a lot better in terms of them saying, hey, listen, we have this in stock. We don't have this in stock. And we're anticipated to get this in the next, X amount of weeks, for example. So they are getting better in that case, yes.
All right. Well, I mean, I haven't owned Tesla in a while, but I do run like 35,000 member Facebook groups, and I still see people posting being kind of unhappy. But I think overall it started to improve maybe a few months ago, and
Right,
now the complaints are at least not like, oh my god, I hate them, I'll never buy a Tesla. They're
right,
kind of back to like, I'm a little annoyed with these guys. So
right.
it
Exactly.
does seem like things are improving.
I think things are improving for sure. Yeah.
And now, this always, I mean, I know it's kind of we're in a guessing game, or, me and you, I think they have, we have some sort of a pretty educated guesses we can make. How in the world were they able to figure out how to make this an amazing car, which is extremely difficult? No one ever done this before, but things that people have done all the time for decades, which is customer service, and parts distribution. They had no clue. As a matter of fact, I believe it was almost a year ago when Elon admitted during the one of the quarterly results conference calls that they only now figured out how to distribute parts from the distribution center to all of this small, which I would have thought that like they would have known before they started the company. How did that happen? How is that possible?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think Tesla was basically founded by a bunch of engineers, really smart engineers, and their goal was to design, an electric sports car, the Roadster that came out for the first time, and then that was a huge success. And then later on, Elon got involved. He wanted a sedan, went back to the sedan, and it was literally just kind of thrown together in a garage, pretty much similar to how the Roadster was. And the way this car just took off in terms of popularity, it was something that I don't think anyone at Tesla, or Elon could have ever imagined. So the demand was there, the hype was there, the popularity was there. People wanted. I want this car. I want this car. So they started pumping them out, fulfilling orders. But remember, they're a new company right from the ground up. They don't really know how to handle customer service aspects in a lot of different ways. And it's the same thing with us. At the garage, Electrify Garage, we're kind of the same way. We're just kind of starting out, and automotive shops aren't new by any chance or way, shape, or form whatsoever. There's a tried and true formula where you take care of your customers and they'll take care of you. But there's a lot of different things that Tesla's never seen before as a brand new company. For example, GM, Ford, they know how to ramp production. They know their sales figures. They know their targets, because it's your standard cookie cutter model. It's a gas powered car. This is the size. They know that when oil is X amount per gallon, they may sell a few less pickup trucks. They know that come winter time, they may sell more of their four-wheel drive versions. But for Tesla, it's different. For Tesla, it's a new car. It's a new market, because before then there was no electric four-door sedan, so they have to figure out how many of these are we going to sell? What's the popularity? Do people want four-wheel drive or do they want rear-wheel drive? And as they're figuring these things out, they also have to figure out the issues with the cars themselves. They have to figure out, oh, wait, there's an electrical issue now. Oh, wait, there's a motor whirring sound. Oh, wait, we have to replace drive units. There's just a lot going on. And because at the time they were just ramping up, they never really had the resources to take care of those issues. And they were so focused on production, like pumping out, hey, I got to have this car. We got to have 10,000 Model 3s a week. We have to have 500,000 Model 3s in a year. That was their main focus, was just getting the cars out. And they took a bet on their customer service deteriorating versus pumping out new cars, because they knew that the customer complaints would be a smaller percentage of the cars they're selling. So they figured to themselves, let's make that bet. They made the bet, and they kind of won, because the guys that are complaining, they're still buying their vehicles. I have one and you had one.
Right. I think one of the few who actually decided I'm gonna wait on the sidelines for a while. But okay, let me put you on a spot. Let's say tomorrow I say, Rich, Elon just called me, because we're like this, and he wants you to head his, be in charge of his, customer service and repair centers and everything. So, quit your job and off you go to Palo Alto, California.
Yeah.
What would be the first three things that you would implement at first that would probably help the fastest?
I think the first thing that I would do is people.
I thought you were gonna eat the camera. Seriously, you just got so close. Like, is he eating the camera? Okay, go ahead. Sorry, yeah.
So no. I think one of the first things I would do is one of the most frequent complaints that we hear at the garage are the wait for parts. So I would 100% try to figure out what is the parts distribution scenario. And even though it may seem that parts are separate from, customer service, they're directly tied in, because the customers are the ones calling for the parts. Like, hey, I need this, whether it be a Tesla certified body shop that needs this and say, hey, look, I have a customer that's been here for 3 weeks. They're going to blow this place up if I don't get them the parts. So the first thing I would figure out is what's going on with our parts distribution centers. Why are we not getting parts on time? Why are we not getting them quickly? And how come we can't get them into the hands of the customers as soon as we can? The second thing I would try to figure out is why we're not allowing more third-party repair centers. Because in a lot of the cases, The reason why the Tesla service center is so backed up is because there are literally no other options. So if you have a Tesla Model S and you're like, hey, listen, I need to get this quick thing fixed, and your local mechanic down the street is scared of high voltage because he saw that video of a Tesla that blew up and pretty much killed everyone in a 1 block radius, he's freaking out. He's not going to touch it. I think a lot of the things I would focus on is definitely user education and trying to get more third-party repair shops in. I mean, obviously with training, and obviously there'd be, you know, a service fee to kind of buy into to Tesla's technical knowledge, but that would be one of the major things. Because imagine with you or anyone else having an issue with their vehicle, hey, listen, Tesla started in California, but the way the Tesla service centers are busy, you would think there was only one there when there's more in California than anywhere else in the world, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I would definitely try to figure that out. Number 3, oh my goodness, I think I would focus on quality, definitely quality assurance issues. That's another customer complaint. How come when we pump out these Model 3s or Model S's, why are they coming out with these, you know, issues that are easily fixed? You know, why is this door falling off? Why is this door a different color? Why is this not working out? That would be, I think, the 3 things I would focus on for sure.
All right. I think you just got the job, man. We just got to hear back from him, and I think you'll be ready and on your plane. Now, I have to say, I wouldn't disagree with it. I would put on a higher priority this one thing, which would be actual customer service, meaning
Right.
call centers and getting more people to answer phones. Because last time I needed something from them, I waited for more than an hour, and I know there are quite a few other people who are frustrated with that. But also getting people who are answering those phones understand that they are, you know, they're not selling, you know, kittens. So they're going to be dealing with people who are pretty frustrated with the process, and therefore they have to be trained for essentially a, you know, helpline, you know, hotline for people who are really, really, really upset. And I think if that can work, like for example, that's one of the reasons I left. I was like, listen, I was willing to deal with your crappy cars and, you know, the crappy quality, but I'm just not willing to deal with also being treated like crap and just like not answering your phones at all. Like, you know, this is worse than my dates from Tinder, you know? They just don't answer. You know, Tesla ghosted me, so I think that's the right term. All right, well. Let's see what happens in the next year. I really hope that and it looks like they're improving. But thanks for hanging out with me once again, and I will see you next month for the next installment of Talking Shop with Rich.
Hey, adios, Alex. Take it easy, man.
All right, don't forget to subscribe to Rich's channel, and if you're in the area, check out his Tesla shop. It should be your #1 alternative to repair and take care of your Teslas. Both links are in the description of this video. I hope you guys don't take this wrong when we make videos like this. We're both fans, obviously, of Tesla. You know, we just want them to do better, and we want them to do better for the sake of us and you, the viewer, who either already owns a Tesla or wants to buy a Tesla, because, you know, a great product without a great customer service is not a great product, right? And we want them to be. The cars are amazing. Just like I started the video, I'm going to end this video with saying Teslas are the best cars in the world, and probably will continue to do so for a while. By the way, feel free to suggest topics for our next conversation. We're doing this monthly, and once again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. But for now, I'm looking forward to your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.